It's got less to do with discipline than most people think. There's a statistic that 95% of diets fail, and it's a lie, right? A diet doesn't fail, a person does, right? Or more so, a person's ability to form the habits and eventually the identity so that it becomes a lifestyle is what fails them. So let me explain that. Most people who struggle with getting and staying in shape, they think that they have to do something generally extreme that's going to take away from other things, right? Other things that they value, other responsibilities, other things that are really important to them. And so it's easy to push fitness aside and let it take a back seat, right? I have consultations every single day with incredible people, and I love these conversations, but I can't tell you how many times I've heard, Taylor, just tell me what to do, man. Like, how many calories do I need to eat? You know, how much training do I need? How much cardio do I need? And for how long do I need to do it? And I usually respond with saying something along the lines, look, okay, yeah, I can help you with that. Definitely. And I want to save you time and energy, and give you an optimized plan. But the truth is, you could go pick the simplest plan right now, and that information is not difficult to find, and probably get incredible results, right? What you may want to lean into is the fact that there is no finish line with this. And what exactly do you want, and for how long? Right? And that one usually leaves them a little stumped, right? And I get it. I get this way of thinking because I used to think this way too. And to be clear, I've always been fascinated with working out, with weight training, with nutrition, ever since I started lifting weights about 20 years ago when I was 14, right? And I've always loved athletics. But even myself, somebody who's been a geek about this stuff his whole life, you know, several years ago when I went through something really emotionally difficult, I went through a divorce and it wasn't pretty. I sort of let myself go for a while and ended up gaining a bunch of weight. Right? I was about 80 pounds overweight, and I was having health issues, and it wasn't good, right? And until I experienced enough discomfort, you know, I had to come to the realization that it didn't matter what I knew, didn't matter what plan I had, what strategy I had. It really came down to who I was being, right? Think about it like this. No one's ever become a $100 million business owner without being that person, without enjoying the game of business, right? Of course, they needed strategy. They needed clarity of action. They needed the right optimized plans. More than anything with strategy, they needed course correction, right? But that's only a part of the puzzle. And really, that information is pretty easy to find, right? Now, without the right habits, without the right behaviors, without the right mindset, it's near impossible to reach that level of success. So, look, here's what it's going to come down to for every one of us. It's just going to come down to a simple question. Ask yourself, what would a healthy person do in this situation? And realize that the healthy person doesn't even have to think that way. They don't even have to think about it. It's become almost unconscious for them. And it's just who they are. It's who they're being. It's who they've always been, maybe who they've become. So clearly focusing on the right strategy is important, but it's not going to guarantee results, right? And to build the right habits, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to commit to incremental changes, right? And you're going to have to be consistent with that. And ideally, the changes are so doable that they don't require a lot of discipline. They don't require a lot of willpower. And you save that for when you need it, when things get emotionally difficult, when things get challenging, and you need to leverage discipline and willpower to stay with the plan, right? And I promise you, life is so much more enjoyable on the other side of that. The other day I saw Alex Hormozy leave a quote on LinkedIn, and if you don't know who he is and you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, which I know a lot of you are, check him out. Go read his book, $100 Million Offers. The guy is amazing, right? But he said something along the lines, and I don't know if I have this exactly right, but it was something like, people underestimate the amount of effort it takes to become successful, but they also overestimate the amount of effort that it takes to maintain. Right? So it's like driving a car to a new destination. At first you need the GPS, it's stressful, you don't know if you're going to get lost, but after a while you don't, right? After the repetition comes, you just hop in the car, and in an unconscious daze you end up at the location. That's the aim for developing habits, for developing a new identity and eventually a new lifestyle, right? That's the aim for fitness, for business, for anything that you're trying to reach a high level of success for. It's the fourth stage of the 4 stages of learning, right? The unconscious competence. You don't even have to think about it. It's easy, right? It's got less to do with discipline than most people think. Okay? And I'll just say this. My experience with this, I used to binge eat. I used to go out almost every night. I used to drink a lot more. And those things are enjoyable in the moment. But my life is so much richer now that I don't do those things as often. I don't do them in excess, right? I still enjoy my whiskey from time to time, but it's just, I don't go on bingers. There's never 2 days in a row, and rarely do I do it every week, right? And I think that's okay. That's okay. That shouldn't be normalized. I don't think it should be normalized to eat pizza every week or every, few days or whatever. So, I see a lot of trainers out there who are doing the if it fits your macros thing, and as long as you hit your calories and your macros, you can eat whatever you want. And that's okay if it works, but cutting a slice of pizza in half just so you can have pizza seems a little weird to me. I'd rather just cut that stuff out for the most part, right? So if this is resonating with you and you're realizing, this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about, I think he's right, and you want to change your habits, realize that changing your habits, it is physically impossible to change your habits without first changing your beliefs. You can't do it. It's physically impossible. Right? And to do that, it's going to take a lot of awareness. It's going to take a lot of intention. You're going to have to lean into uncovering your blind spots and being open to new perspectives and taking a really hard look in the mirror and asking yourself the hard questions. Right? Now, in my experience, having a coach to snipe those blind spots out, to really challenge and poke any faulty thinking that comes up, it's just an accelerator. It's an accelerator for that. And that's why I continually invest in coaching for myself. So if that's something that you're interested in, hit me up. Send me a message, leave a comment. If you've got any questions at all pertaining to strategy, transformation, habits, whatever it is, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, that's all I got for this one. On your side, it's Taylor.